Yes.
All right. Hello, boys and girls. Happy afternoon. I hope you all doing well. I miss every one of you. Today what we're going to do is a text to self-connection. That means, how are you like the story that we're going to read? Today we're going to read a story called Lily's Big Day. So at the end, you're going to tell mom or dad or sister or brother, how are you like the story? Okay? 3, 2, 1. It's story time! Okay. Lily's Big Day. Wow, look at Lily. How do you think she's feeling? I think she looks really excited about something. I wonder what it could be. Let's read to find out. One day, Lily's teacher, Mr. Slinger, announced to the class that he was going to marry Miss Shotwell, the school nurse. Lily's heart leaped. She had always wanted to be a flower girl. "It will be the biggest day of my life," said Mr. Slinger. "Mine too," whispered Lily. At home in her room, Lily practiced being a flower girl. First, she changed into something more appropriate. Then she held her head high and smiled brightly and raised her eyebrows and turned her head from side to side and carried her hands proudly in front of her and hummed, "Here comes the bride," and walked the length of the room very, very slowly, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. "It will be the biggest day of my life," said Lily. "Who are you pretending to be tonight?" asked Lily's mother at dinner. "I'm not pretending," said Lily. "I'm a flower girl." "Who's getting married?" said her father. "Mr. Slinger," said Lily. "Really?" said her mother. "Really," said her father. "Really," said Lily. "He's going to marry Miss Shotwell. He told us today, and I'm going to be the flower girl." "You are?" said the father. "Did Mr. Slinger tell you that?" said her mother. "Not yet," said Lily. "Oh boy, I sense a problem. I wonder if you do too." At bedtime, Lily's mother said, "Lily, there are so many students in your class. Mr. Slinger couldn't possibly pick just one to be a flower girl." Her father said, "It wouldn't be fair." "He probably has a niece," said her mother. "Maybe Aunt Mona will get married someday," said her father. "Do you understand what we're trying to say?" asked her mother. Lily nodded. "Are you sure?" asked her father. Lily nodded again. After her parents left her room, Lily said, "I understand that I'm going to be a flower girl." Do you think she's really going to be the flower girl? The next day at school, during sharing time, Lily said, "I've always wanted to be a flower girl, even more than a surgeon or a diva or a hairdresser." The following afternoon, when Mr. Slinger had recess duty, Lily picked a handful of weeds at the edge of the playground. She carried the weeds proudly in front of her and walked very, very slowly past Mr. Slinger until the bell rang. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. In the morning after that, Lily went to the light bulb lab in the back of the classroom. She drew a self-portrait. Look at her here. Me, Lily, the world's best and most famous flower girl. Mr. Slinger called Lily up to his desk during quiet reading time. "Lily," he said, "I can tell that you want to be a flower girl, but unfortunately my niece Ginger is going to be the flower girl at my wedding." Lily's heart sank. "But," said Mr. Slinger, "I also want you to know that everyone in the class will be invited to the wedding. We can all dance together at the reception. It'll be fun." Lily's stomach hurt. "This seems really important to you," said Mr. Slinger. Lily's cheeks turned pink. How is she feeling now? "You know," said Mr. Slinger. "I was just thinking that you might like to be Ginger's assistant. You could stand with her and keep her company until she has to walk down the aisle. You can make sure her dress isn't crooked and that she holds her flowers properly." Lilly considered this. "You could remind her to walk slowly," said Mr. Slinger. Lilly considered some more. "You could wear a corsage. That's like a fancy flower on your wrist," said Mr. Slinger. "Oh, all right," said Lilly, "if you really need me to do." Lilly tried to get excited about being Ginger's assistant. "Weddings wouldn't even exist without flower girl assistants," she told her baby brother Julius. "I have a special responsibility," she told her parents. Winter Grammy took her shopping for a new dress for the wedding. Lilly told the clerk, "A flower girl assistant is very important and glamorous." But when it really sank in that she would not be walking down the aisle carrying a bouquet with everyone watching, Lilly pretended that her teddy bear was Mr. Slinger. She made him sit in the uncooperative chair. "You can just stay there forever," she said. As the wedding drew near, Mr. Slinger counted down the days on the chalkboard. "One day closer to the biggest day of my life," he would say. "One day closer to the biggest day of Ginger's life," Lilly would whisper. And still, at home in her room, Lilly practiced. She held her head high and smiled brightly. She raised her eyebrows and turned her head from side to side and carried her hands proudly in front of her and hummed, "Here comes the bride," and walked the length of her room very, very slowly, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The day of the wedding finally arrived. Lilly hoped and hoped that Ginger would have pink eye or a bad fever and not show up. But she was there, and she was all ready. Her dress was straight, and she held her flowers properly. "Are you sure you really want to do this?" said Lilly. "Yes," said Ginger. "Are you sure you're sure?" "Yes." "Are you really sure you're sure?" Lilly hoped and hoped that Ginger would change her mind, but she didn't. It was time for the ceremony to begin. The music swelled. Everyone stood. The moment came for Ginger to walk down the aisle. Ginger didn't move. Mr. Slinger motioned her forward. "Go," said Lilly. Ginger was frozen. "Now," said Lilly. Ginger was still as a stone. "You can do it," said Lilly. But Ginger couldn't. Everyone waited and waited and waited. No one knew what to do except Lilly. What do you think she's going to do? Lilly scooped up Ginger and said, "Here we go." Then Lilly walked very, very slowly down the aisle. She held her head high and smiled brightly and raised her eyebrows and turned her head from side to side and carried Ginger proudly in front of her. When she reached Mr. Slinger, everyone clapped. "I knew this would be the greatest day of my life," said Lilly. Lilly was so excited, she barely noticed the rest of the ceremony. The reception was great fun. After the cake was served, Lilly coached Ginger for the next time she would be flower girl. "I won't be with you every wedding," said Lilly. "I won't be able to save you every time." Together they walked back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Soon they were dancing. And soon after that they were joined by Chester, Wilson, Victor, Julius, Mr. Slinger, Miss Shotwell, and many others. "It's interpretive dance," said Mr. Slinger. "We're doing the flower girl," said Lilly. Lily's family stayed at the reception until Lilly was perfectly exhausted. "But there's something I have to do before we go," said Lilly. She needed to find Ginger one last time. And when she did, she said, "Ginger, when I get married, you can be my flower girl." Snip, snap, snap, our tales told out. Okay, now I want you at home to turn and talk to somebody, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother. And I want you to tell them a time in your life when you did something really important. Maybe it was being a flower girl or a ring bearer. Maybe it was something different. Can you think of something? After you share it, why don't you draw a picture about it? We're right. All right, everyone, that's it for today. I will see you all tomorrow.